Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? This is Rob of Rule of Two Review. Welcome back to the channel where we get to talk about the now officially announced Nintendo Direct for the final week of June. And it turns out that it actually is a partner showcase. Literally the morning after my wonderful Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup last night, their third ever. What a glorious time and what a glorious evening. Literally the day after that happened, we wake up to a less than exciting Nintendo Direct because the partner showcase, which did start to get discussed, obviously, over the weekend. I made a video discussing it because both VGC had a report about a third-party Direct possibly being what we would see, and then Nate the Hate basically corroborated that and essentially said it's going to be exactly this, a partner showcase. So shout out to Nate for actually knowing what was going on and calling this. The partner showcase is not the Direct we wanted, right? So that's why it's less than exciting. Now, it's always worth noting, I think that we need to train ourselves to think this way sometimes. Getting something in most cases is better than getting nothing. Yes, that's true a lot of times. And there is a chance this turns out to be great, but obviously it's not really what we were hoping to see. Before we dive any deeper into this Nintendo Direct mini discussion today, I like to remind you guys I'm always trying to grow the channel here on Rule of Two Review. I upload every single week, and I talk about all things Nintendo and all things gaming, and I am really trying to hit 20,000 subscribers. I am less than 2,000 away from that goal. So as you watch this video, if you seem to like what I'm doing and what you hear, then I hope you will consider subscribing to the channel. So this is where we are. We're getting this Direct at the end of June, like we'd all been kind of expecting. And now we get to kind of chew on the information and prepare to see whatever they're going to show us tomorrow. Here's the tweet Nintendo put out that actually told us what's going on. They said, a new Nintendo Direct mini partner showcase is on the way. Watch on demand via our YouTube channel beginning Tuesday, June 28th at 6 a.m. Pacific time for roughly 25 minutes of info on upcoming third-party Nintendo Switch games. So this is tomorrow, right? As of, they announced this today on Monday, June 27th, and it's tomorrow, Tuesday, June 28th. Now, it is worth noting that, weeks and weeks ago, the Alana Pierce story was going around about June 29th, and everyone and their mother bought in on that date. And I was certainly very open to it. I said, yeah, there's a great chance, I guess, why would I not necessarily believe it? But it clearly wasn't true because it's not June 28th, it's not June 29th, it's June 28th. So, it's one day different, but it just goes to show, everyone tries to spin things as fact when these stories start going around, and you never really know who knows what, Alana Pierce's date was wrong, Nate the Hate's info was correct. Alana Pierce also said it many weeks ago and was only one day off. Nate the Hate only mentioned it yesterday or the day before or whatever, so right before it was announced, so maybe he knew what was going to happen because it had gotten that much closer to the actual date. And so, yeah, Tuesday, June 28th, okay, it's a 25-minute show. That part is potentially very exciting, I can't lie. But it's only going to be exciting if what they show us is actually interesting. The big elephant in the room here is the fact that in 2020, the heaviest pandemic year, partner presentation showcases were not awesome. They just weren't good. I'm just going to say it. I try to be an accepting, open-minded guy, and like I said, yes, in most cases, something is better than nothing, and that is true, but boy, those things were disappointing, right? Now, there were maybe 2 or 3 exciting announcements and things that came out of them, right? If you look at them in total across all 4 of them, it revealed Monster Hunter Rise, which was amazing. For me, as a No More Heroes fan, they confirmed that HD ports of No More Heroes 1 and 2 were coming to the Switch, so that was really great news, right? In anticipation of No More Heroes 3 at that time. And it did have the first trailer for Shin Megami Tensei 5 that took 4 or 5 years or whatever for us to finally frickin' see. So, those things were certainly neat. All third-party games, of course. Even if published by Nintendo, still third-party developed. And so, yes, some good things have come out of them, but they really just never hit the spot, man. And it was a really rough period. I think we all remember those 4 months, right? From July through October, 4 months of Nintendo Direct mini partner presentations. really wasn't very appetizing for most of us. Now, obviously these were done because Nintendo is always, obligated to announce and discuss more than just their first-party games. They always have third-party developers that are allowing and willing to bring their games to Nintendo's platform, just like when they do it to Sony and Microsoft and Steam and all that stuff. And Nintendo probably has agreements with them about when are you going to include this in a Nintendo Direct? When are you going to discuss this? When are you going to put the trailer on YouTube and tweet about it and hype our game up because we have this business deal going? And so I think the Directs were also born out of an obligation for Nintendo to finally just acknowledge these games that they've partnered with these developers on and, tell the world in an excited way, hey, these games are coming to our platform so you can buy them soon. And in a pandemic year where regular Directs and most game development was like basically at a dead stop, it did make sense. Now in 2022, in the dead middle of 2022, obviously pandemic isn't entirely gone. I mean, I joked with you guys last time. I'm actually sitting here still a little bit sick with it. I'm like at the very end of it, and I'm obviously feeling better and able to get on camera for you guys. But I have it. My wife had it a few weeks ago. Like, it's still out there, and it made me very, very sick for the first, probably 3 days. So it's not like it's gone, but we're also not in the dead heat of this scenario, right? Most of us, we don't have to wear masks in most of the places we live anymore, right? I mean, my office has opened its doors again, so I'm kind of in and out of the office sporadically and all sorts of things. And so most of us have been getting back to normal life. Most game development has been on point. Games have been releasing regularly. And in fact, Nintendo has been doing regular Nintendo Directs again. So why, at the end of June in 2022, are we doing another partner showcase? It's not that I'm outright furious about this because I'm really excited and hoping we see something good, but why are we doing this again? It really just makes no sense. Now, some people have pointed out something important and worth noting that could potentially be exciting, and that is that 2 of the big exclusive games we know to still expect for the Nintendo Switch that don't have release dates, by the way, are third-party developed games. And that is, of course, Bayonetta 3, and it's Mario and Rabbids 2, right? So you've got a Platinum Games game, and you have a Ubisoft game, right? Partnered with Nintendo in different respects on both of those games. So if we're getting this third-party Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase tomorrow, there's a great chance that, some of the focus is going to be on those 2 huge games. Bayonetta 3 is the one I am really excited for, and I am dying to learn more about. I want a new trailer. I want a date so I know if it's actually sticking to 2022 or if it's getting delayed until next year. And I just love Bayonetta, man. Bayonetta 2, still my favorite game I ever played on the Wii U and one of my favorite games of all time. That game is freaking amazing, and the first one is also great. I have extremely high hopes for Bayonetta 3. I think it looked fantastic from that first trailer we saw. I'm ready for that game. Mario and Rabbids 2 is a game I'm less excited about, but still interested in and curious about. I'm not really super high on supporting Ubisoft right now, but I did enjoy the first game for what it was quite a bit, and so maybe I give in and pick this up. I'm not quite sure. However, it's a big title, and it would be nice to learn more information about it. And of course, it's also worth noting, as I pointed out on Twitter, that this Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase being 25 minutes makes it the longest of the 4 by quite a bit. Okay, the previous 4 from 2020 ranged from as short as 8 minutes to as long as 18 minutes. None of them cracked the 20-minute mark, and this one's 25 minutes. So if they're giving us a 25-minute show, like I said in the very beginning of this video here, I hope that means that it's good stuff, because if it's 25 minutes of World of Tanks and Worms games and weird Taiko Drum Masters and, I'm not trying to diss all these games, but I think you know what I mean. If it's 25 minutes of just not exciting, random, weird games, it's not going to get the job done, man. And I think that the reception to this is going to go sideways big time. It's already not positive. People didn't want this to happen. Now it came true, and people are not happy about it. And I understand. People being really toxic about it is one thing. People being, calmly and rationally disappointed, I agree with you. I'm pretty disappointed. I didn't want this to happen, but I'm also going to maintain, I'll wrap up here. I'm going to maintain that I'm excited to just see what this is. 25 minutes, A direct is a direct. We might see Bayonetta, we might get a surprise announcement, and so I'm still hoping to see a good show. So that's all from me today. Tomorrow we'll see what Nintendo actually gives us during this presentation. And so for now, I'm going to call this video a wrap. Talk about your thoughts below. And thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of 2 Review. I will catch you next time on another video. Bye-bye.